Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I'm back with some more stuff that I picked up on my latest Second and Charles visit. This is Victor Santos's Polar. There's two books here, both nice, real well produced hardcovers from Dark Horse. I believe this came out first as a web comic, so you get the screen formatting. And then it also apparently became a movie from Netflix with Mads Mikkelsen. I don't watch that many movies anymore, but I do like Mads Mikkelsen, what he did in Hannibal especially. But the printing's perfect for this style. The art, Victor Santos's art is amazing. That's why I picked this book up. Um, it's very much Frank Miller, Edward Hizzo, like all of these Mike Oeming, all these guys that work in a stripped down, high contrast, tenebristic style. This is not chiaroscuro. This is tenebrism, by the way. I'm going to keep harping on that because people get that wrong. Frank Miller does not do chiaroscuro. He does high tenebrism. This is the opposite of chiaroscuro. But you see this stripped down like shape, silhouette, negative space, shadow only filled in, no contour line around a lot of stuff. Really awesome design of each page, like really great sense of composition. And I know me and Sean keep coming back to this idea of the silhouette lately, and Santos is just a master of the silhouette. So the story's pretty straightforward. It's just this character here who's like a retired spy that everyone's out to get, and it just goes from there. So the story's like fun. It's standard. It made for a good action movie, and that's what it is in a comic. So, not the type of story I'm going to sit here and praise, but it is what it is, and it's a good version of what it is. Victor Santos is doing what he wants to do. What I really appreciate about it is just the art and the design aspects of it all, the rhythmic stuff, the use of the composition and the silhouettes and the negative space, the use of the two colors. I think is really effective, these two shapes against each other. So it's just a pleasure to look at. This page example I thought was really cool, especially since we just looked at Trencher. This kind of has that Trencher vibe to me, where it's just the contours and then filled in. But in this instance, like, there's so many missing contours, and all of the kind of orangey, it's an orangey red for the blood, but it really makes the table stand out. It reminds me of this game, I think it's called the Invisible Swan, where the world's white and you have to throw paintballs and expose the world. It's a really fun video game, like one of the few games I have played in the last 25-30 years. And also, like, this character landing up against the wall like that, so we're seeing the wall clear from the other side. That image is so well constructed, being able to see the briefcase and the objects on the table based almost entirely on the blood splatter. Love it. So that's the kind of designs that you're getting in this book. Yeah, really a lot of interesting panels. Some weird, sexy silhouette scenes where you can maybe multiple interpret some of the images. Some odd instances that I didn't like, where all of a sudden, like, photocopies have been plugged in for really realistic looking images. I found that to be like out of the style. So that's the first one. The second one is, now this retired guy is training a young girl to get revenge. So again, a very, like, just action, balls to the wall action movie type of thing. Same cool art and everything, but in this one I was a little less into it. I had a hard time even finish reading it because I was, I'm more into the art on this, and I didn't like a lot of the stuff that was going on in the art. Like, there's like grays added now, so it's not just the black, the white, and the red. There's some really obvious, like, computer texture, like brush texture brushes that I don't think were used so well, and multiple types of gray that I think disrupt the real nice rhythm of just the red and the black. Some of the art looks more overworked too. I know it's all supposedly Victor Santos, but it just like is more detailed. It looks like a different artist to me. There's kind of some of these Jeff Smith bone like just ticky marks on things. So he's gotten rid of the simplicity that really makes the first one sing. I mean, there's still a lot of really great, you know, like pages like this where it's stripped down again and really great silhouette and negative space and shape. And sometimes having this second color in here is cool, but then there's these things where there's like this computer stuff going on in it, and I didn't like that as much. Here's another instance of stuff going on with the art where like there's this red outline around everything, which seems like a bizarre choice for the style that's purposely normally avoiding contour in favor of shape to define edges and things. So I mean, he's experimenting. He's trying stuff in these books. The second book, adding to his style, but it's not as impressive to me for some reason. Like this page here with the extra coloring, and it's like that blood page in the first one, but the blood page in the first one worked so much better because it was more sparse. But then some pages like this where you get just the lines have been turned into the red, I think that's really, really nice and elegant. So there's some experiments there. And then in the back of the book, there's a short story where the work's colored in, and I really, really like the way Victor Santos colors his own work. Again, going back to the high tenebrism, low contours, focusing on shape and shadow, and then letting the colors be a lot of the shapes, and some really nice color schemes, really interesting choices. The way it's printed, they're like really bright and vibrant, and in this case that really, really works in the favor of the art. I think with this style of art you can go over the top with the saturation like that, and it works really well. So I know I've seen some other Victor Santos stuff. I think he has a book out right now. I'll be looking for that in the collection. I really like his art. Like I said, as a writer, you know, I think he just likes these type of action stories, and he's doing the type of stories he wants. It's not my favorite type of thing, but it's a very good version of what he's doing. There's also a couple instances of both books where he plays with this type of storytelling, where all of the word balloons have images in them. So he's doing some formally tricky stuff like that. Some formally tricky stuff with time, with the character moving through the room and shooting people, and then you see him after he's done and all the dead bodies. So a really, really great artist. I'm going to have to go find more of what Victor Santos has done. I think he has a really, really fantastic core style, and I think he's willing to experiment. And, you know, sometimes the experiments land and sometimes they don't. So I'm curious to see how all of that has and continues to develop. Thanks for following along, guys. Take it away, Jack.